So here's my initial thought, seeing this huge line of people coming here to see Bernie Sanders. It's quite clear that his political message in 2016 and onward has garnered a lot of support from a lot of people all across the country. He is the strongest of all the candidates. When corporate media says that he's unpopular or that he's out of date and out of touch, they're absolutely wrong. I mean, there's a long line of people here to see Bernie Sanders speak and support him during the primary. Now, Chicago is a key city, and if he's able to build a strong political infrastructure here before the primaries start and actually do some huge outreach all across the Midwest, he has the potential to really beat out all the other candidates. And in fact, he can. He is the most favored. He's got the name recognition, he has the infrastructure, he has the financial support, and he can basically beat all the other candidates. What matters now and what should concern all of us is, one, how many people turn out to vote, how many people are actually going to vote in the primaries, and whether or not his campaign will call out any form of election fraud. Because remember, corporate media will have a bias towards Bernie Sanders. They did it in 2016. They're trying to do it now. They're failing at it. But look at what they're doing to Tulsi Gabbard in her campaign. I wouldn't be surprised sooner or later if CNN or MSNBC starts attacking Bernie Sanders for a whole bunch of other ridiculous issues. So that's where it really comes up to independent media to get the facts. And the fact is this, is that Sanders is in the lead, and he's got this crowd of support. I don't see Kamala Harris or Cory Booker or Elizabeth Warren or any other candidate doing the same thing that Sanders is doing. What is it about Bernie Sanders that's making you come out here to support him? Why are you supporting him now in this presidential election cycle?
Well, for me personally, it's just I like his ideals he has. You know, I'm not going to throw shade, but, you know, we do see a lot of things that aren't right. And the way he sees it, like, he agrees with the younger people, you know, and, like, it's just, we connect with him more than other people that are running.
He has his message out to the youth and just overall in general America. His ideals, his ideas, what his movement is just so inspiring, like for many people like us and so many other minorities out here. It's just his message, his dream is just so inspiring, and I'm all for everything he says.
I mean, I know Bernie, he has a history of going back like in rallies when he was younger, so it's like he understands what we're trying to do for our government and our people, so that's why he's probably why he's so known, because he's out there. So it's not just for right now, but he's been here since a while back, so.
Yeah, same here. I'm not too knowledgeable on who the other candidates are running, but for sure, he's been around forever. He knows what he's doing. He's just so knowledgeable on what he's doing. And like I said earlier, his ideals are just so aspiring.
Starting back in 2015, I was a strong supporter of Bernie Sanders. I like his democratic or socialist policies, Medicare for all. Medicare for all is the biggest one, Green New Deal. Jobs guarantee. I think it's just so vital at this time that we become leaders in transforming our energy economy to become sustainable, and modernizing our healthcare system so that we actually lead the world instead of are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to modernized countries in healthcare as well. So
essentially, just name one policy that interests you in supporting Bernie, about why you're supporting Bernie Sanders, like at least a policy that really gets you excited when you hear Bernie Sanders talk.
So many of them, but I'd say Medicare for all is definitely at the top. That comes to my mind right away. The healthcare system is way too complicated, way too expensive. And Medicare for all will simplify it, reduce our costs as a whole, because it'll take away all of the administrative costs that are wasted away through insurances, and we could keep good quality, and private care companies will still be able to function, but our government will step in and reduce the costs. So I think that would be incredible.
If Bernie Sanders, let's say, doesn't get the nomination, are there any other candidates that are in this race right now that possibly you would support?
I'm not 100% sure right now. I really don't know. I mean,
with Bernie Sanders,
in terms of there's other progressives being there, I'm interested in Pete Buttigieg. He's definitely an interest of mine. Right now, besides that, I'm not quite sure.
All right. So, but basically, you're with Bernie Sanders all the way.
Yes.
We're out here supporting Bernie just because he has a mission at heart. He's here to help college students just like us achieve a better future for all.
I agree with her. I mean, she said pretty much everything. He has a vision, and I'm here to learn more about it and hopefully get a different president in.
Yeah. So essentially, when it comes down to Bernie Sanders' policies, he's running on a lot of issues. But can you two name at least one issue that you guys really support him on?
Definitely with the free college, because right now I am on a scholarship, but I am looking at when I transfer many student loans and many just being in debt, and I just want to have a great education to be able to pursue my career, which is to become a Supreme Court justice in the future.
Her answers are so beautiful. I have to be honest,
This is your first political rally,
yes,
right?
it's my first political rally, so I'll say that. I'm here to learn more about everything he stands for. But I know he also stands for a lot of the minority communities, and I think that's really important. So I really support that aspect, and I'm anxious to hear what he has to say about it.
So the race is also filled with a lot of other candidates. Are there any other political candidates that are running for the nomination that really have you interested in possibly supporting them or potentially?
Fingers crossed for Beto O'Rourke, but not as much. I want to get more information about all the political candidates running, Republican and Democrat, to see what we can do to help better our political climate today.
She inspires me. I'm going to keep looking at the sources she's looking at. I know of a couple that I saw. I can't think of their names right now, but it's looking like there's even more diversity than last election, so
Exactly. We're excited for it.
Yes, we're excited.
Yes, my name is Trayvon Spear, and I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter.
All right, so essentially, what brings you out here to support Bernie Sanders, and why do you think it's important for people to know about his campaign?
It's real important because the revolution is starting over. This is we need a revolution in this country. Get money out of politics, healthcare for all. It really matters. This is the time, and we have to make it happen.
All right, so you mentioned a couple of issues that he's running on, but what political policy issue that Bernie Sanders is running on really gets you excited to support him, especially during the primaries?
Money out of politics, especially being from Chicago. It is corrupt because our politicians are bought and paid for. We had enough. We need a new, fresh start.
And for anyone who's perhaps waiting in the sidelines, choosing not to get involved, what do you want to say to them that are just choosing to not get themselves involved in the political process?
Get involved. I got involved this year in automatic election with Ugo for alderman. It's really important that young people like me get involved because it's our generation that's at stake.
So essentially, gentlemen, why are you out here supporting Bernie Sanders this early on in the primary?
I believe he's the best candidate, and you need to have a strong base, so showing your support as early as possible is a good way to make sure he wins.
Yeah, exactly what he said. Bernie is the best candidate for the job. He's got a history and record of being bold and progressive, and his platform, along with his record, shows that, yeah, he is the best candidate for the job and for transformative change in the country.
So Bernie Sanders is running on a lot of policies right now, but for you two in particular, what's one political policy issue that he's running on that really has you motivated to really put in your full support for him?
Campaign finance reform and election reform.
And you?
I would have to go with Medicare for all.
So it's quite clear that there has to be a high voter turnout and people need to get involved in elections. Now, recently, Chicago had an election as well on February 26th. Did you two participate or vote during that election cycle?
I've already moved away, so I'm just back for the campaign, so I didn't take part.
Yeah, I live in the 35th Ward. I voted for both Carlos Ramirez Rosa and also in the mayoral primary runoff.
I guess this event's going to be starting very shortly, so what do you want to say to people who are perhaps in the sidelines choosing not to get involved?
I think it's time that you get involved. This is probably the most important election of your lifetime.
Yeah, getting involved and especially just educating yourself on the issues. I'm a fervent Bernie Sanders supporter. If you're going to support somebody else, that's good. But, look at the record, look at the policies, and, come to your own decision of who's going to be the best person for the job.
All right, peace, everyone. Peace.